talking about scholarships, this always comes up. Definitely, like I said, with the rising cost of college, finding ways to cover those costs to go on and to play at the next level. Unfortunately, with baseball, it's not a sport like football or maybe men's basketball where there's a lot more money, a lot more full scholarships out there. So this is a good example for you to see here. At the Division I level, there's only 11.7 scholarships, full scholarships, for a Division I roster of 35 athletes. So you can see very few Division I players are receiving full ride offers. A lot of those are broken up. A lot of times you're going to have to find other ways to cover the rest of the costs of college. So having good grades is definitely one way to find academic scholarships, any need-based aid, any grants, anything else you're going to have to be out there searching for. So this is all part of the process. Baseball is not going to cover a majority of your costs, so just keep that in mind. And then looking at Division II, they even have fewer scholarships for more roster spots. So you can see there's even less money getting spread around there at the Division II level. And then Division III, it does say none. There's no athletic scholarships, but sometimes that's a little confused with the fact that there is money available, and sometimes more money available at Division III schools because they're smaller private schools that could cover a much larger chunk. And the scholarships that are available there are all based on merit, so how well you're doing in the classroom. So if you're doing well in the classroom, they can find money for you to cover your costs as a student athlete. And a lot of times that can be even greater than maybe what the Division I or II schools can offer based on their athletic scholarships. So that's something to keep in mind when you think about these different levels of schools and considering different options out there. Now at the NAIA level, they actually have more scholarships available per roster than even Division I. So that's another separate institution, the NAIA, that a lot of times gets overlooked because they're smaller schools that they're not going to the College World Series, so they're not prominent, and people aren't looking at those schools. But there is scholarships available there. And then you got the junior colleges down there below. Now, when you see scholarships there, it really depends on the state you're in. In California, typically there's not going to be any scholarships to play at the junior college level. The